Rock and Roll Geek Show 741.
Still rocking after all these years.
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it, the show that started it all. Often imitated, but never equal. From San Francisco, USA, online since 2004. It's the one and only Rock and Roll Geek Show. With the original Rock and Roll Geek, Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Friday. What is the date of today? Friday, November 11th, 2016, and it is 6:34 p.m. when I'm doing this show. This is the first actual regular Rock and Roll Geek Show that I've done in quite a long time. Long overdue. In my opinion, it's long overdue. In your opinion, maybe it's better off that I haven't done a regular Rock and Roll Geek Show. I don't know, but I'm doing one. Thank you for all the positive feedback for the Lost Rockers parts 1 and 2. I still have part 3 and 4 to record. Those will be coming up soon. Tony Mann's going to come back on the show soon. But tonight I'm doing a regular Rock and Roll Geek Show. It's Friday night. Going to sit around, drink some beers, and play some music and talk a little bit of rock with you, my friends of the Rock and Roll Geek Show, as I bump the fine Tecate into the microphone. Let me finish up the second Tecate of the day very fast here. Second one. I don't know what it is about the second one, but man, it was the best one so far. All right, I'm going to start off with I have some audio comments, show reviews that I've been sitting on for a long time. I'm pulling them out of my ass because I've been sitting on them. All right. Let's start off with some music. When I was posting on the Facebook and the Twitter that I was pulling the Rock and Roll Geek Show 741 out of my ass, on the Twitter I noticed that somebody posted that they're happy that there's a new Bash and Pop coming out. Bash and Pop, if you don't know who they are, Bash and Pop is a band Tommy Stinson from The Replacements did right after The Replacements broke up. He put out this album called Friday Night Is Killing Me, and it was a great album. I mean, a really, really good album. So when I found out it was a new Bash and Pop, I was quite excited, and I went out and looked, and it's, believe it or not, it's on Pledge Music. I think it's going to be on Fat Possum Records. I have mixed feelings about a record label doing a Pledge Music, but Fat Possums is an independent label, so I guess I am okay with that. So I went out and got the there's one song available, and I went out and grabbed it, and I'm going to play that for you now. The first Bash and Pop album, Friday Night Is Killing Me, I can't tell you how much I love that record. You should go out and search that out. By the way, since I'm searching it out, if you have the Rock and Roll Geek iPhone or Android app, the Rock and Roll Geek app, do not look in the bonus content because that Bash and Pop Friday Night Is Killing Me album just might not be on that bonus content. All right, here's brand new Bash and Pop. The song is called On the Rocks.
Holy man raining down on all their scenes.
There you go. Okay. There you go. Brand new Bash and Pop. The record is going to be called Anything Could Happen. Bash and Pop. Tommy Stinson's band he formed right after the Replacements broke up. The record came. The first record, Friday Night Is Killing Me, came out in, I think, 93. I saw them play at the Paradise Lounge in San Francisco. Actually, it wasn't his band Bash and Pop. He played solo, but he did the Bash and Pop album, and some friends of mine were actually playing in his backup band. And it was very good. That Bash and Pop album, like I said, is a great album, and do not look on the bonus content for this episode in about 2 days after the show posts, because it will not be on there, because that would just be wrong, friends. It was on a major label, I'm pretty sure. That's why it will not be on there. I would not post it on there if it was independently produced by Tommy Stinson or Fat Possum Records. Okay. What else was I going to say? I don't know. Here's what you can get on the Pledge Music. For $10, you can get the new Bash and Pop album. Anything Could Happen. For $150, you can get the new album, signed deluxe LP. Friday Night Is Killing Me, signed vinyl, and a T-shirt, and the record download for $150. It seems a little high. You can get Bash and Pop's first concert at the Inch, be one of the very few to catch the very first glimpse of the current incarnation for $75. That's a little high, too. The new album on CD signed for $25. You can get Friday Night Is Killing Me on vinyl for $30. You can actually get the band to play at your house for $10,000. You can get him to perform your wedding, because Tommy Stinson is an ordained minister of the Universal Life Church. Only $5,000, friends, and you get the album download too, I think. All right, that's enough. There's plenty of other things you can buy as well, but I really like that song. That song was called Bash and Pop. No, it was called On the Rocks. All right. Why don't we thank some donors? It's been a long time since I thanked people for donating to the show. Let me open up a fresh Tecate before I thank some donors. For the background music, I'm going to play something that friend of the show and donor, Adrian Boschon, I'm not sure, Boschrock on the forums, and the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook page that I did not start, but I do approve people. If you'd like to be on the Facebook page, just go on there and ask to be approved, and either me or somebody else will approve you very fast, almost instantly, as a matter of fact. Let me take a sip of this fine Tecate. Adrian sent me this album called Sumerlands. I have not heard it, but I'm going to play that in the background while we thank some donors. Sounds a little glam metal or whatever, 80s metal. All right, there are several ways you can donate to the show. One is on Patreon. Let me hear a little bit more of this. I don't really like these vocals too much, but he sent it to me, so I'm going to play it in the background. All right, you can donate. You can go to patreon.com/RNRGeek, or just go to rockandrollgeek.com and click on the Patreon link, and you can donate to the show, like Ken Kennedy, who donates $5 every episode. Thank you, Ken Kennedy. I really appreciate it, friend. My friend Chiaki Hinohara of the Metal Moment podcast, and a person who sent a show review coming up soon, donates $5 an episode. Brian Springer, $5 every episode on Patreon. My podcast mentor and co-host of Mad at Dad podcast, which a lot of people are starting to seem to like Mad at Dad. $5 every episode. Thank you, Professor. Bette Wood, that's right, a girl named Bette Wood, $3 every episode. Bruce McMillan, $2 every episode. Matthew Hunt, $2. Eric Stowell, $2. Robert Harvey, $2. Jon Richardson, $1. And Corey Koehler, $1. I'm not really loving this Sumerlands. I'm skipping to something else. Time. Yeah, the music is a little Queensryche-y. You can also donate on PayPal, like friend of the show Todd Cunningham, $10 every month. Thank you, Todd Cunningham. I take a sip of this fine Tecate to you.
Fight till the death, till the end of time.
Now I'm curious about Sumerlands. I gotta see what those guys look like. Hold on here. We find Sumerlands on the internet. Alright, I'm going to Sumerlands. I can't find it. The Sumerlands? No. A Celtic community? I can't find them. How about that? I cannot find the band Sumerland on the internet. So if you know what they look like, send me a picture. Because I'm not loving their music. Alright, where am I? John Ofenloch, $5. Jeffrey Caniparoli for the $2. Thank you, Jeffrey Caniparoli. Lasse Satvedthagen for the $2. Stephen Mascord, $5. Came in to my studio and co-hosted the show with me. John Skiller, $2. BJ Lisco, thank you for the $10. Friend of the show and friend of mine, Ralph Miller, $10. Rodney Cross, $5. Brett Garsky, $5. Bradford Page. Wait, where am I here? I lost my... Bradford Page, $2. Craig Vasiloff for the $5. Dave Jackson in School of Podcasting, $10. Chris Stanley, $10. Thank you, Sigmund Hydasher, for the $5. Thanks to Peter Spark for the $2. Thanks to John... Thanks to John Baveri for the $5. Thanks to Michael Mack for the $2. Thanks to Patrick Shanahan for the $20. Thanks to Chris Harrison for the $10. Actually, this is kind of starting to grow on me a little bit. Did I thank Chris Harrison for the $10 already? Thanks to Mario Zoth for the $2. Oh, I kind of like this, actually. Thanks to Michael Street for the $5. Michael Street has donated at least $5, probably at least $20, but he donated $5 on the PayPal. He also sent me a show review and donated money with the show review. Thanks to David Ivey for the $5. I like the music. I could do without this guy's vocals. Thanks to Jeff Thielelicki for the $10. Thanks to Paul Fondery for the $10. Thanks to Adrian Bashon for the $2 and for the Sumerlands. Thanks to John Tennis for the $5. All right, let me find another one. I got a little bit more to do. Let me start. Okay, Blind. Let's hear that song. Thanks to Greg Long for the $5. Thanks to Dave Franco for the $10. Thanks to Jeff C.A. for the $5. Thanks to James Venners for the $10. Thanks to James Venners. Dean Gillespie, $5. Is this annoying you yet? Me playing with the volume? I'm having fun with it. I don't care. Thanks to Eric Lentz for the $5. Thanks to Kelly Mitchell for the $5. Thanks to Deborah Dreyfus for the $2. If that's your real name, Deborah. Who quite possibly has my favorite album of the year. And is quite possibly a stunningly gorgeous rock and roll woman. Thanks to Richard Fusey for the $2. Thanks to Dale Roller for the $5. Thanks to Andrew Howe for the $5. Thanks again to Kelly Mitchell for another $5. Thanks to Christopher Del Grande for $5. Thanks to Jason Shepard for the $10. And finally, thanks to Jer O'Carroll for the $5. I take a sip of this fine Tecate to everybody who donated. Without your donations, this show would die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled, stepping on puppy dog shit in the bathroom as you're getting ready to do a show, death. Have I mentioned how much I love my new puppies? I love them, but they shit and piss everywhere. But I still love them. They are so fucking cute, those dogs, man. So cute. But boy, they shit and piss everywhere. Thank you, everybody who donated. Seriously, I really appreciate it. Without your donations, this show would not be able to be done. Thank you, friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you! One last Tecate for everybody who donated. All right, Sumerlands has officially grown on me. I kind of like him now. Thanks, Adrian Bosson, for sending me that. I really appreciate it. Also, I want to thank Eric Mortensen, friend of the show, for giving me. I'm standing here. I'm not standing here. I'm sitting here, but I'm looking up in my studio. You know how some like radio stations have an on-air big red sign? Well, I have an on-air big red sign now in my studio, but it says Tecate. It is a Tecate neon sign. He got it at a state sale and gave it to me. And was very thoughtful of him, and I am loving it. I'm sitting here looking at it. It's lit up, shining bright red on my face, and it brings a smile to my face, friends. All right, got some show reviews. I'm going to start off with my good friend, Chiaki Hinohara of the Metal Moment podcast.
Hey, Butler.
Hey, hey,
so
Chiaki.
I am here at Badlands Pond, Golden Jewelry, in the beautiful, beautiful South Dakota, Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where the pipeline protest, a Standing Rock, is happening. Did you go to the protest, Chiaki?
So here for the Dokken reunion warm-up show. They're going to be doing about 6 shows in Tokyo, not just Tokyo, but Tokyo, Hiroshima, Osaka, etc., etc. And they have chosen this beautiful, beautiful city of Sioux Falls.
I don't know if I've been to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, but I would like to go there. I would like to go there and protest with the Indians, actually.
Because of this location, Badlands Pond, Golden Jewelry, it is a pawn shop, but they have this multi-million-dollar recording facility for video, audio, etc. And they are going to be attempting to film a live DVD. So they've been here for the past week. Last night was their dress rehearsal. Tonight is the actual gig. the one-off gig show. What's significant about this gig is, I apologize for the inconvenience again in the background. They're doing the sound check.
That's the sound check? It sounds like traffic in the background.
But what is significant about this Dokken show? It's the original, well, I would say the classic members, George, Jeff, Don, and Mick. I say classic just because it's not the original. If it was the original, the bassist would have been Juan Cruchet. He actually was in Dokken, recorded some
Good
of the
knowledge.
bass for...
It's the classic lineup.
Breaking the Chains, and then he actually left for Rat, and that's when they found Jeff Pilson. The way they actually found Jeff Pilson is through Mike Varney. So Jeff Pilson was living in San Francisco, and he was in a band with Mike Varney. Mike Varney's the guys that find all these super guitarists, right? So back then he was in a band. The band was called Cinema, and Jeff's like, man, I'm going to move to L.A. So a few weeks after he left for L.A., Don was looking for a bassist because he lost Juan Cruchet since he moved on to Rat. Long story short, so Don Dokken calls up his buddy and he goes, do you happen to know any bassists that you can recommend, Varney? And he's like, yeah, in fact, my bassist, Jeff Pilson, just moved to LA and he's looking for a band. So Don calls him up, brings him in, and bang, it's like, all right, man, you're in the band. So again, This is a classic lineup.
How about that for Dokken knowledge? Right. I think Chiaki knows more about Dokken than anybody else in the whole world.
Sorry. I gotta say, South Dakota, never been here. I would not be here if it wasn't for this event. There's tons of flies for some reason. Somebody please tell me why there are so many flies. I don't know. But a quick...
Chiaki went all by himself to South Dakota. I love to do that. To fly somewhere in the middle of the country by yourself and just hang out alone and go and see a show. I think Stephen Mascor met up with Chiaki.
You have last night's short dress rehearsal. Before I do that, let me just so the gear that George has set up for this is, let me start with the amps. He has two Marshalls.
Oh, good.
I think one is the 58 Plexi. The other one is probably a backup.
Nice.
He also has a Friedman. Friedman's an amp that everybody is using now.
Both guys in the Butlers play Friedman, as a matter of fact. Craig and Billy play Friedman amps.
Friedman's a guy that he must have modded everybody's amps, including Eddie Van Halen. So he started a line maybe like 5-6 years back. It's Friedman amps. And he has this amp that I've never heard of. It was Metz, M-E-T-Z. It was not turned on, so I know. He also has a Roland Jazz Chorus, which he will be using when he's doing his a short acoustic set during the set list for, which will be tonight's main show. So back to yesterday. It was just a dress rehearsal, and they played, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks.
They only played 5 songs in a dress rehearsal?
I say 5 just because those are the tracks that they sang. They started off the set with Without Warning. They had it running in the background. And then, of course, we will go directly into Tooth and Nail.
Tooth and Nail!
The guitar that George was using was his Tiger guitar.
Okay.
The next song, Don't Close Your Eyes.
Don't close your eyes! Wait a minute. That Don't Close Your Eyes! That's not Dokken, the one I'm thinking about. Who's that one? Don't close your eyes! Is that Skid Row? I don't know.
It's probably a song that...
is it Cinderella?
I've never seen them play live, which was pretty fantastic for probably a Dokken fan. He used the Tiger guitar. Well, I should talk about the guitars, but let me just go through the set list. Tiger guitar, and then right after that, George started doing this guitar noodling solo straight into Mr. Scary. Again on the
Should
Tiger
I find
guitar.
my Dokken?
The next track was Into the Fire.
Into the Fire!
He started using this green,
Into the Fire!
Greenish Charvel-looking guitar, which I will
with a pointy
explain a little
headstock.
later. And Don Dokken was actually using his Wolf guitar.
I don't know what that is.
So that's pretty fantastic seeing Don playing guitar on stage with George as well, because when they were not getting along, basically George said, I am manning the guitar, so Don stopped playing guitar. And George stopped singing the harmonies because Don's like, well, if that's the case, I'm going to be singing all the leads, and I'm going to have Jeff Pilson and Mick Brown sing the harmonies, and I want you to shut your mouth, George.
Nice.
Or at least that's the story that I heard. So on this, George is actually
By the
singing
way, when I was in Jet Boy, we played one of the festivals on the East Coast. Actually, we played a couple of gigs with Dokken, and they were staying at the same hotel with us, and we were hanging out with some people, and some of those people were girls in the hotel lobby, and Don Dokken came and tried to pick up all of the girls that were hanging out with us. It was great. And he was drunk, too.
And depending on the song, Don Dokken is playing the guitar, his Wolf guitar that he very much loves. The Wolf guitar is basically the artwork, the back cover of the Back for the Attack album.
Oh.
Pretty fantastic looking, beautiful looking.
Okay, all right.
And the last
take your word for it,
song that they
Chiaki.
played last night was In My Dreams. And again, George was using
In
this
my
green
dreams, you're still the same. The love is all that still remains. Something like that. Off the Freddy Krueger soundtrack.
looking guitar, and Don was playing his Wolf guitar.
No, that's not right, right? Dream Warriors is the Freddy Krueger soundtrack, I think. In My Dreams is just one of their hits.
So that's a quick set list from last night's dress rehearsal. Tonight, I think they'll be playing a full 90-minute set, so maybe we'll hear maybe 12 up to 15 songs. They are going to be playing a quick acoustic set. I know they're going to be playing Heaven Sent, I think.
Okay.
But I just
Don't know
I just
that
heard
one.
yesterday that they're not going to do
Oh,
it.
wait a minute. A little bit of Heaven Sent here. Let me see if I find it. Why do I have Dokken on my computer? Don't ask.
There seems no justice.
All right, I've heard enough. Okay, back to you, Chiaki.
And so this acoustic set is just for the U.S. show today. So looking forward to it. Let me see.
I don't like Dokken as much as Chiaki does, but I have him on my computer, so there you go.
By the way, I'm walking around while the sound check is going on, so I apologize if I'm breathing hard or something.
No problem, Chiaki.
All right, so now to the guitars. So he has a Haji. Haji is skull with the snake.
Oh, yeah.
The Wicked Sensation Lynch Mob album cover artwork. It's not the original Haji. It's the Haji that I think he got in the late 2000s.
Wow.
Basically, visually, the difference
Chiaki knows his
the
Dokken,
neck.
man.
The neck on this one
George
has a
Lynch.
reversed ESP headstock, just like Kirk Hammett's guitar.
Okay.
So nothing really special about that. So now the Tiger guitar, it's the usual Tiger, the Tiger that it's probably on his 5th or 6th neck at this point, but he has the Harpoon ESP neck on right now. The body was, I think he got it from Lynn Ellsworth from Boogie Bodies back in the days for like $20. It was
There you go.
Scrap maple
Look at
guitar.
that.
It's maple guitar, so it's about, I think his guitar weighs around 11 pounds. So for people that don't know how...
Who else in this whole world knows how much George Lynch's Tiger guitar weighs? That, my friends, is a super fan.
I mean, that's a heavy guitar. Typically, people shoot for something in between 7 to 8.5 pounds, but this one's over 10, so you
over
got to be
10
pretty
pounds.
muscular to be able to play this guitar.
Yeah, 11
throughout
pounds.
the whole show. So give credits to the muscular, very sexy looking George Lynch.
There you go.
So what's different about this guitar this time around is the pickup. So we're used to seeing black.
The muscular, very sexy George Lynch.
On and a humbucker, which he's the last time I saw him with that guitar, he had his Arcane made Mr. Scary guitars.
I gotta hold on. I gotta write that down. Show title.
So this time he has this cream humbucker on. So it's either a Mighty Mite that he got back in the 80s that he probably found in his house somewhere in his desk, which he threw on there, or it's a cream colored Mr. Scary guitar through Arcane. And what is this pickup? It's basically a Dockenbucker. What a Dockenbucker is, it never made it onto the streets per se. But it's made by MJ. That's MJ Juarez, the master.
Wow, I had
Seymour
no
Duncan.
idea, Chiaki, that you knew that much about Dokken's gear. Holy shit, man. Kudos to you.
Winder.
I have
She
a
is-
whole new respect for Chiaki now. He's fucking geeked out on George Lynch's guitars. That is great.
He's been there for, I don't know, as long as maybe Seymour.
This is why I love Chiaki. I mean, you gotta respect the guy who's that geeked out on one rock and roll guy.
Single musician, when they get their custom wound Seymour Duncan humbuckers or any type of single coil or pickups, they ask MJ to do it, and she is a master. She has a sweet touch. So it's basically
a girl who winds the pickups.
it's a Seymour Duncan JB with different ceramic magnets, meaning it has a more of a traditional standard thickness than what they put on the JB. So that's what the Dokken buckers.
Wow.
So long story short, Nagai Hanashi o Michigaku, it's either an Arcane Mr. Scary or one of the Mighty Might older pickups that George happened to find in his garage. So there's the Hunter going on in the background right now. Right now, Dawn is missing. It's only Jeff, George, and Weld McBrown for the sound check.
Hold on, let me see if I can find a little bit of the Hunter here. The Hunter here. All right, enough of that. All right, back to you, Chiaki.
It's about the review of what I saw yesterday and what I saw earlier today when I saw them setting up. What else can I say? Oh, some of the people that I saw
oh, by the way, it sounds like they're tuned down in the sound check from what they are on the record.
To Tom Mayhew yesterday. Tom Mayhew,
Which I'm not a fan of. Play it the tuning it is on the record.
Significance of him. Well, he used to be Mick Brown's drum tech back in the day.
Mick Brown, formerly of Ted Nugent's band.
And he was actually Jeff Pilson, the bassist's roommate at one point. But
Jeff Pilson of Foreigner.
What happened to him after that is basically he's been managing Guns N' Roses for the past 25 years. I think he's his Axl Rose's personal manager, as well as so he's kind of responsible for getting this whole I should say the Guns N' Roses reunion back. He's the catalyst, and he is the guy that actually put this Dokken classic band together to do this one show in Sioux Falls,
He's bringing
South
the rock
Dakota,
bands back
place
together.
where the Flies love to live, and these 6 shows in Japan. So yeah, it was a pretty interesting guy, man. He's just down to earth, but man, he has some pull. So another guy, let's see, Ron Keel. So Ron Keel, I guess, is a radio DJ. And this place, Badlands, they also have
Ron Keel is not the guy from Keel.
They have a local radio station, and he has a show every day. So he's hanging out. So Ron Keel is obviously from the band Keel from the 80s.
Yeah, same guy. Okay.
Their hit that you may know is "The Right to Rock." That song, I can't sing it for you just because it's way too high.
The right to rock. I'm guessing.
Mark Ferrari was there, so the guitarist of Keel, and also after Keel, he ventured out to start his own band, Ferrari. And what's
I think I know somebody who gave Mark Ferrari a hand job. I think I'm not sure though.
interesting?
How's that for knowledge?
This is a story that I heard from George, like
Mark Ferrari.
Back, but basically. So Oni Logan.
By the way, that is not anything to brag about, giving Mark Ferrari from Keel a hand job.
Actually in the band Ferrari. And right after...
I think she might have fucked him, actually.
Only maybe like 2 weeks later, George liked his voice, and George was like, hey, do you want to be in a band called Ferrari? And this is when George left Dokken, and he started his Lynch mob. He was looking for a vocalist, right? So he went up to Oni, and he's like, well, do you want to be in a band called Ferrari, or do you want to be actually riding a Ferrari? And obviously, Oni jumped ship and went to sing for Lynch Mob. So, kind of...
And did he ride a Ferrari? I doubt it.
See them together, I guess. Who else? I don't even know.
Needless to say, it was a star-studded event, Chiaki, with Mark Ferrari there.
Anymore. I'm pretty. Haven't slept. Probably slept like 3 hours or some time
That's
differences
okay. You're
over
geeking
here.
out on Dokken,
So that is all
man.
for today. So this is probably way too long.
No, it's fine,
for
Chiaki.
you, Michael. I apologize.
I love
so
it,
that
man.
is my
I love
real
it.
quick review of what
All
happened
right.
last night in the beautiful, beautiful Badlands Pond Gold and Jewelry. That's the full name of this place in South Dakota, Sioux Falls. Checking out. Oh yeah, this is Chiaki. All right,
All
bye.
right. For you, Chiaki.
Sit there thinking in your room. You feel the pressure, you're going crazy too. The walls
Oh, fuck it. I can't do it, man. I'll try a little longer. Try a little bit more.
around you closing in. You need a change. Claustrophobic, feeling scared. You need somebody, but no one seems to care. A one-way ticket, a change of pace. You've had enough. Can't take no more. Breaking the chains of
All right, enough. Sorry, I'm not a Dokken fan. I apologize, friends. But thank you for the show review, Chuck. It was a great show review, by the way. Great. I've never heard anybody geek out so much on gear. That's fantastic. All right, do one more show review here
Hey, Michael Butler.
before we play a song.
This is Eric Mortensen, the metal CPA from the San Francisco
Hello,
Bay Area,
Eric Mortensen. Thank you for the Tecate sign.
and the host and curator of Morto's Metal Museum, the podcast.
There you go.
Calling with a Megadeth show
Oh,
review.
nice. Oh, good.
Today is Friday, September 30th,
Hold.
2/16, and
Wait a
this
minute.
is for
You see how long it's been since I've done a regular rock and roll geek show? I'm going to start this all over again. Hold on.
Hey, Michael Butler. This is Eric Mortensen, the metal CPA from the San Francisco Bay Area, and the host and curator of Morto's Metal Museum, the podcast. Calling with a Megadeth show review. Today is Friday, September 30th, 2/16, and this is for last night,
September
Thursday's
30th. September. It's been a month and a half since I've done a regular rock and roll geek show, apparently.
September 29th at the City National Civic in San
Wait a minute. Did he just edit that in? Let me back that up.
for last night, Thursday, September 29th.
Oh, thank you, Eric. Let me I don't know why that cracks me up. I'm gonna start. Okay, here we go. Start it over again. Oh wait, wrong review. Okay. Now listen closely to this edit job. Apparently, he must have got the date wrong. I'm trying to stretch this window out here. All right.
Host and curator of Morto's Metal Museum, the podcast, calling with a Megadeth show review. Today is Friday, September 30th, 2/16, and this is for last night, Thursday, September 29th, at the City National Civic in San Jose. But before I proceed, let me
I
do
wonder what he originally said. Did he originally say the 28th? Who knows? I love it though.
ceremonious shot of Jägermeister.
Yes, I'll join you with a shot at Tecate, friend.
Shooting that out of a frosted live shit binge and purge Metallica shot glass.
There you go. I just shot that one out of my ass. All right, enough of that.
Chased with a Kern's peach nectar.
Very nice.
So Megadeth is on their tour for their recent release, Dystopia. And went with three other buddies. Doug Schaefer, who you know well.
Yes, nice guy.
Greg
Doug.
Young, the drummer from the Metallica tribute band Damage Inc., and his
Yes.
friend Roth.
Yes.
There were 4 opening bands, believe it or not. The show started at 6 o'clock.
Wow.
So starting from the bottom up, we have Butcher Babies, Metal Church, Suicidal Tendencies, Amon Amarth, and then Megadeth. So since we hadn't eaten and needed to imbibe a little bit, we decided to spend all 4 opening bands at the bar upstairs eating hot dogs, drinking some beers. No shots of Jaeger were available, so we had to slum it and drink some tequila.
Aww.
So anyway, didn't see any of the 4 bands, can kind of hear them a little bit, but we were anxious to get out and see Megadeth. And so the current touring lineup is, of course, Dave Mustaine. Dave Ellefson on bass has been back in the band for several years. A new guitar player, Kiko Loureiro from Brazil. He actually did record on the album Dystopia.
Hello,
His
it's
previous
me
band
again.
was Angra.
Me.
And they've got a new drummer, Dirk Verberin from Soilwork.
Okay.
They had a session
They had
drummer,
the guy from Lamb of God,
Chris
didn't
Adler
they?
from Lamb of God,
Yeah.
that recorded on the Dystopia album, but he is not currently touring with them. So let me quickly rattle through the set list.
Okay.
They played a total of 19 songs.
That's a long set.
They started out with Hangar 18.
All right. How's Hangar 18 go? Isn't that an instrumental? I think so. I'll just take your word for it. I think it's an instrumental.
Went into The Threat Is Real off the new album.
Okay. The threat is real. The threat is real. Let me see if I can find that. I think I have that here. Okay, here. The threat is real. Get it. All right, rockin' tune. All right.
Tornado of Souls.
Tornado of Souls.
Poisonous Shadows off the new album.
Okay.
Wake Up Dead.
All right, I don't know any of
In
those.
My Darkest Hour.
In my darkest hour,
Conquer or Die off the new album.
conquer or die.
Fatal Illusion off the new
Fatal illusion.
album. She-Wolf, my favorite tune of the evening. Dawn Patrol.
I don't know any of
Poison
those.
Was the Cure.
I don't know any of those.
Sweating Bullets.
Sweating bullets. Hello, me. It's me again.
I like that one.
A Tout Le Monde.
I don't know that one.
Trust.
I don't know that one.
Post-American World
I don't know
off the
that
new
one.
album.
Okay, yeah.
Dystopia, of course, off the new album. Symphony of Destruction.
Just like the Pied Piper leads rats to the grave. All to the symphony of destruction.
I can do it pretty good, Dave Mustaine, I think.
Peace Sells.
Peace sells, but who's buying?
And Holy Wars, The Punishment Due.
Okay.
So that's a total of 19 songs. They played 6 off of the new album, so a little less than a third was new material. And I actually enjoyed that because I really like the new album. I've heard the old
think I
songs
gave
many
it a good
times over,
review.
seeing them over the years, and it was nice to see a fresh set of material I'd never seen performed live before. So anyway, that's about it. It was a great show. Just as a quick aside, Lynn and I were actually up at our summer cabin up in Forestville for a couple of weeks, and we almost came to the Featherwitch show Friday night. I was so bummed we couldn't make
Almost.
it. Our schedules just were not allowing us to get out. And now after hearing the cool event that happened, I'm definitely bummed that we missed. Of course, that cool event being Casey proposing to Natalie.
Yes, it was
I
very
saw the video on
special.
YouTube. How cool was that? He wrote the song for her, threw the guitar off side stage, got on a knee, proposed to her.
Yeah, it was-
the crowd was into it. She had no
It was
idea.
a tearjerker.
And, very cool. I sure wish we could have been there. Anyway,
It was very
this is
special.
the Metal CPA from the San Francisco Bay Area and Morto's Metal Museum, the podcast, signing out. Stay frosty, my friend.
Stay frosty, friend. All right. You too can leave an audio comment, show review, area code 706-621-ROCK. Or you can just, like Eric and Chiaki did, email it to rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. All right. We'll take a break from that. I've got a couple more show reviews, but first I would like to say I would like to give condolences, not necessarily condolences, but I would like to wish good feelings or a speedy recovery to Wild Hearts bass player, ex-bass player, Danny McCormick. Danny McCormick was a really cool bass player. He played on the classic Wild Hearts album, Earth Versus, PHUQ, Fishing for Luckies. Great bass player, cool dude. And he also was in this band, the Yo-Yos, who were also really, really good. Well, he had his leg amputated. This is from Team Rock, which I'm not a huge fan of teamrock.com, but I think their writing's a little bit hacky. But they did report former Wild Hearts bassist Danny McCormick says he hopes to be back on stage by December, having his leg amputated. He suffered an aneurysm last year, and complications on the back of that have led to his leg being amputated below the knee. His band, the Main Grains, were due to support the Wild Hearts in December, with McCormick hoping to be involved. He says, "Hi guys, as you all know, I've been in the hospital for some time now. Unfortunately, the doctors have done everything they could, but after the aneurysm, the blood supply was compromised to my leg, which has resulted in below-the-knee amputation. I'm in physio at the moment, and I'm in great spirits and look forward to seeing you all in December." McCormick's long-standing drug problems were behind his sacking from the Wild Hearts in the past. If you're sacked from the Wild Hearts for drug problems, that means you got serious drug problems, because Wild Hearts, they all did drugs. And speaking of that, American Heartbreak played with the Yo-Yos in L.A., and just about every other song, Danny McCormick was throwing up on stage into a bucket. And you know what that's a result of. Danny McCormick, great bass player, and I'm a fan of that guy, and I wish him a speedy recovery. In honor of Danny McCormick, I'm going to play something from his band, the Main Grains. I actually went out and bought this on Amazon. It's a mini album. It is called, let me pull it up here. I'm a little bit discombobulated. I think it's just called The Main Grains. This song is called, actually the record's called Don't Believe Everything You Think. This song is called Unscrewed from The Main Grains.
Very first test of me the way to
there you go. Main Grains featuring lead vocals by Danny McCormick, ex-Wild Hearts. Let's hope he continues to be a great rock and roller with one leg. That is a bummer, man. That is a serious fucking bummer. Record's called Don't Believe Everything You Think. I bought it on Amazon. I hope you will too. I'll post a link on rockandrollgeek.com. Hate to bring the show down, but good record, great rock and roll guy, and from all I know about him, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about the guy. I met him when we opened up for the Yo-Yos, and he seemed like a very nice guy. We showered him with praise, and he was very cordial to us. So, speedy recovery to Danny McCormick, and I hope he makes the Main Grains tour. All right, another show review. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
This is country.
Oh, back it up here. Back it up. I got to get a new computer. I seriously do.
Hello, Michael Butler.
Hello.
This is Country Dick
Hey,
calling
Dick.
with the show review of the Pretenders. They did a live in-store at Twist and Shout Records in Denver, Colorado. But first I want to ask, how are you doing?
I am super great. Could not be better.
Good. Always good to hear.
Yes.
So this was just an in-store record, kind of like rec release, and got there just with the cost of buying the album. You could see a Pretender show.
Oh,
I knew it was
very
going to be a
nice.
long show, so I'll try to do a short review as well.
Oh, it's a long
But,
show? Good.
She started right at 7, and we were just packed into this back area where they usually kept all the albums. And she walked through the crowd, and she was wearing this tight Twist and Shout record.
How'd she look?
Shirt from the store with a really young guitar player. And I guess they could book themselves as the Pretenders as two of them. But, everybody's just there to see Chrissy Hines. So,
Yeah, as long as it's Chrissy
she has
Hines, it's
blonde hair.
Pretenders.
Still looks good.
Blonde.
Looks better as a brunette, but she has the great high makeup and the bangs. So, and her voice is still amazing.
Yes, it is.
And I've never seen her, but so
I've seen them
she's
a
in
few
town
times.
because the Pretenders are currently opening up for Stevie Nicks on her tour. So they're going to play
It's like a
at
nostalgia
the big,
tour, I
arena
guess.
tomorrow night. So they're going to open up for her. It was a laid-back set. They made a lot of mistakes because they're playing a lot of the new songs from the album alone, and it's produced by Dan Auerbach, the guy from the Black Keys. He lives in Nashville now, and he produces a lot of people.
Yeah.
So she started a lot. It was mainly songs from the new album, and the new album is pretty good. There's a few outstanding songs.
I have it.
That I really
don't
like.
I don't love it, but I do have it. I've not given it a hard listen.
One is called "Let's Get Lost." It's a really catchy song, and one of the last songs on the album is called "Death Is Not Enough." It's not written by her, but it's a great song. I'll try to send it to you. And then so everyone was pretty happy with the new stuff that they're playing. I mean, she played that for about 25 minutes of a 45-minute set. It was just all new things. For a while, we just thought it was just going to be all new material, which would have been okay, but she did ask for requests, and a lot of people asked for deep cuts, and
good.
you know how they ask for requests, but they're just going to play the
Right,
4 songs
of
they know
course.
anyway. But they did play some of the classics. They played Back on the Chain Gang. Try to have the crowd sing along the oohs and the ahs, and of course nobody could sing, so she kind of told everyone to shut up after they screwed that up. It's pretty funny in her own charming way, of course. And I'm trying to think what other songs they played. They played Middle of the Road, Talk of the Town.
So far, nothing too obscure.
And a lot of people were, asking for 200 Miles Away, but she ended with Stop All That Sobbing.
Gotta stop sobbing.
Which was great. And
Stop,
like I
stop
said, she could hit all
sobbing.
those notes. And I don't know if you've heard of this, but she hates cameras at shows. So
yes, I have heard
in line, everyone was told about 4 or 5 times, put your cameras away. I was texting and I was yelled at to put my camera away. That was way before she started. And then when she started, someone, of course, took a picture of her, and she stopped the show to yell at them.
Oh, come on.
And I heard she does that, and so she did not disappoint.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. She still has that rock and roll attitude, and she kind of
yeah, but
just
don't
does
take
it
my picture.
For people with cell phones, so I guess that's still there. But it was a great show for the cost of buying an album. She didn't stay to sign it, which is a bummer because I guess she thought people were going to take pictures of her or something. But she was out. She recognized somebody in the crowd, and she asked them if they had a ticket for the show for tomorrow, and they said no. And she goes, "You do now." So that was very cool of her. It was a short show, but I'm glad I got to see her. I don't really like Stevie Nicks all that much, so I'm not going to be at the show tomorrow night. But the Pretenders would be definitely worth seeing in a small club or something when they tour again.
I saw them on the last. Was it Last Independence? Whatever her last album was, I saw her at, not the one that she did with that guy, but the one before that. I saw her at the Fillmore. It was great.
They're touring smaller places when they're not doing big shows for Stevie Nicks. So I just want to call and let you know what a great time that was to see an artist like that up and close and crabby. So again, I have my
he's losing his voice.
I have my blog with a bunch of people I see that are here coming to town. It's if you follow me on Twitter, it's under Country Dick. You can find my blogs. It's called Old Guy at the Show.
Old Guy
anyway,
at the Show. Yeah, I think I'll post a link to it.
For letting me rant about the Pretenders. It was a great time. So stay frosty.
Stay frosty, Country Dick, and get that voice back. All right. For Country Dick, I'm going to play the song that he says is super catchy off the new Pretenders Alone album. This is called Get Lost, or Let's Get Lost.
Let's get lost. Let's get lost. Let's get lost. Let's get lost. Well, I'm wearing like a charm, tattoo on my armor, your name in a horseshoe, talismans and such. I rely on them to touch and get close to you. Oh, well, I try.
there you go. Brand new Pretenders, Let's Get Lost for Country Dick. Thanks, Country Dick, for the show review. I really appreciate it, friend. All right. How about a
From the files
douchebag
of the rock and roll geek, it's the douchebag clip of the week.
All right. From Blabbermouth, Nikki Sixx explains why he never washes his hands after using the bathroom. See if I can find it here. Motley Crue bassist, Motley Crue and 6 a.m. bassist, not just Motley Crue bassist, he's also the bassist for 6 a.m., has revealed that he never washes his hands after using the bathroom. According to Daily Mail, a staggering 62% of men do not wash their hands after going to the bathroom. By the way, I was fishing today. I got a kayak. I'm way into this kayak fishing now. I'm geeking out on kayaks, if you can believe that. But I went fishing on the kayak today, and after I loaded up the kayak, I went to the bathroom to wash my hands. I had to use the bath. I had to pee and wash my hands, coincidentally, which I did after I peed and before I peed. And there was a guy in the bathroom sitting on the toilet, taking a shit, talking on the phone, taking a shit. And it smelled really bad in that bathroom, too, let me tell you. This was at San Pablo Dam Reservoir. And the guy was talking on the phone, taking a shit, and walked right out of the bathroom, talking on the phone, didn't even wash his hands after he took a shit. All right. I don't know. I'm digressing, but speaking of not washing your hands after you use the bathroom.
6 Cents with Nikki Sixx and Jen.
I just found out that you don't ever wash your hands after you go to the bathroom, or really ever.
That's gross.
Thing is this, and you have to be honest with me and tell me I'm right.
You're wrong.
Wash your hands before.
Of course, wash your hands before you use the bathroom. You don't want to get dirty hands on your dick, but that's no reason to wash them after.
Because you don't want to get the bacteria all over it. Like, let it, bask in its own.
You wash your hands before?
Yeah, not after. I don't have a problem with my own smell on my hands. I'm shaking. Listen how stupid you guys are. You're shaking hands. I must shake 1,000 hands a day, and then I grab my junk. I got 1,000 people's germs on my junk. I don't want that. My own junk is my own junk.
Oh, but it's okay to get your junk on the 1,000 hands that you shake.
I don't wash afterwards, so if you shake my hand, congratulations.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Congratulations. You got Nikki Sixx's hands, or dick, on your hands. That's disgusting.
It's the douchebag.
Yes, wash your hands before you go to the bathroom and wash them after. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. All right, one more show review. Fuck.
Hey, Michael Butler. This is Rock and Roll Zach. How you doing?
Hey, Rock and Roll Zach. Was this Michael Street? Or no, this is Mike. Wait, no, this is Zach Erlacher. I thought it was Michael Street. By the way, Zach Erlacher, did I thank you? I don't think I thanked you for donating to the show. I thought it was Michael Street who sent me the show review. I need to add your list to the list of the donors, but I'm gonna do that while you're. Let me see, Michael Erlacher, Zach Erlacher, Zach Erlacher. Wait a minute, a second. Erlacher. Okay. Fuck. I forget how much he donated, but I'm just going to go ahead and say $5. Thank you, Zach, for donating, by the way. I really appreciate it.
I wanted to give you an update from a recent concert I saw, and that was Elvis Costello and the Imposters playing in Ann Arbor. I've seen Elvis Costello probably half a dozen times now, and this was actually the best concert I've seen from him ever. Okay. He covered a lot of material from the album Imperial Bedroom, which I don't think is that great an album, but it does have some really good cuts on it, like Beyond Belief, Almost Blue, Man Out of Time.
I don't know.
This was a sold-out show with several thousand people. at the historic Michigan Theater. He played basically a collection of songs from 1977 to 83, something like that, and it was all really good. He mixed it up, so he didn't play the whole album track by track. He started off with Lipstick Vogue from his second album, jumped into Accidents Will Happen, a few songs from Imperial Bedroom, moved around quite a bit, and the band he's playing with is called The Imposters. That's 2/3 of the original band, The Attractions. So he's got the drummer Pete Thomas, he's got Steve Naive on keyboards, and new guy Davey Farragher on bass, who's only been playing with him 12 years, which is probably longer than Bruce Thomas did. And also 2 gorgeous and wonderful backup singers, very soulful singers, Kitten Kuroi and Yazare on backup, and they were singing right in the soulful style of Stax Records. It was a great show, included a lot of the hits, Watching the Detectives, Allison,
Watching the Detective,
What's So Funny About
Allison's
Peace, Love,
good.
and Understanding, Pump It Up, etc. Had the audience on its feet, which is pretty good considering the average age is probably higher than Elvis's at 62. Anyways, a good show all around. And I had myself a nice $5 Edmund Fitzgerald Porter, which set off the evening just great.
There you go.
I've got some photos and
not
some
bad.
videos that I shot, and they're available at guitarvibe.com. And don't forget, stay frosty.
Stay frosty, friend. You too can leave me a show review or audio comment. Area code 706-621-ROCK. That's area code 706-621-7625. Or you can do like Zach Erlocker did and email it to me at rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for me tonight, friends. A little out of it, but aren't I always a little bit out of it? All right, let me tell you how you can reach me. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. You can find the show at rockandrollgeek.com. You can find me on the Facebook, R&R Geek. You can find me on the Twitter, R&R Geek. You can find me on the Instagram, rockandrollgeek, don't ask. That's enough ways to reach me, I think. All right, later on this week or early next week, I'm going to do another Lost Rockers episode with Tony Mann. I think we got 2 or 3 more to do until the book is done. A lot of people have bought the book because of me interviewing him and have given me compliments on how much they like it. So, and I think they seem to like the book as well. So stay tuned for that, friends. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to close out with an Elvis Costello song. But this is Exodus doing Elvis Costello, the Force of Habit album that I played on in Exodus. I don't know what year it came out, but 92, 91 or 92, something like that. Thanks for listening, friends, and thank you for donating. Please keep the donations coming. Without your donations, the show will die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled death. And do not look for the bonus content because that would just be wrong if you have the app. All right. Thanks a lot, friends. If you want the app, go to rockandrollgeek.com and look on the show notes of this episode. And I believe there's a link where you can buy the app because there's no bonus content will be on it because that would be just wrong. All right. We'll talk to you very soon, friends. I'm going kayak fishing on Monday. Took the day off today. I finished this job this week and went fishing today in the kayak. I bought a Wilderness Systems 12-foot fishing kayak, and I'm really, really loving it. It's a lot of fun. Geeking out on kayaks. I've been watching kayak modification videos like over and over. I'm becoming obsessed with this. I'm going in the saltwater crabbing and rock fishing on Monday. I'm going to Bodega Bay and I'm camping out in the campgrounds. And in the morning, I'm meeting this guy. He's going to show me how to fish in the ocean with a kayak. And I'm very much looking forward to it. Very, very much. I'm doing that on Monday. And hopefully I'll be doing a Mad at Dad that night as well. Thanks a lot for listening, friends. Enough of my yakking. Here's Exodus doing Elvis Costello's Pump It Up. We'll talk to you soon, friends.
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.